Hello class, this is Charlie, and I wanted to provide some additional details around sequence diagramming. The sequence diagramming tool that I used to do this modeling was found in Visio 2013, and under the shapes I just searched for sequence UML. So just sequence probably would have brought up just using the term sequence here would have probably brought up the same values in Visio as sequence UML, but that's what I searched under. And of course, there's some terrific tools to be found in Visual Paradigm. But for those of us who don't have that tool, this is the version that I utilized right out of Visio, which is a perfectly fine, suitable set of tools to do sequence diagramming. Let me just take a few minutes and so we can go through some of the details in a little bit closer scrutiny. So for the sequence diagram, you'll notice that there is this long, solid lifeline here underneath the ATM user. That's because this is the element that is going to persist, happens to be the one that is going to persist throughout this set of events that need to be performed in a certain sequence. So that's why it's solid, and it runs the entire duration of the event. Now I have this numbering system, which you'll notice is a bit like paragraphical numbering that you might see. In fact, it's identical to the sort of numbering system that you might see in Microsoft Word when you're utilizing an outline format. You'll notice this is the same sort of nesting hierarchy that is used. So, and then you'll notice that as I start down my process here, or the sequence here of an ATM user inserting a credit card and then selecting to withdraw cash, that the ATM card is inserted. That's one, and then that message persists out to the bank. So the ATM system creates a message, but it's initiated by the ATM user. So it's underneath this body of work, this one and then 1.1 to validate the card information. In other words, that mag stripe has come back and the bank says, yep, that's a good ATM card that you can use at this ATM. And that's 1.2, and you'll notice it's a dotted line coming back. The return messages are dotted lines. Messages that are starting out are solid, and so 1.3, the ATM system is asking for the password, and so it sends that message to the display, and the display responds by prompting the user. And you'll notice this is nested from 1.3 to 1.3.1 because it's underneath 1.3. It is coming from, it has not gone back to the user, and it's not gone in all the way to the keypad. If it was something that was going all the way to the keypad, it would go to 1.4, but since it's not, it's a 1.3.1 since it's just returning. And you'll notice it's just as if we had done the nesting that you would do in an outline. So if you think about it from that perspective, it becomes pretty clear as to what you need to do. We start 1.1 is a continuation, it nests under this initial response. 1.2 is we're responding back. 1.3 is we're asking for a password, and since this is a return from 1.3, we're just adding 1.3.1, so it nests under asking for password. Then you'll see this, we jump to 2. 2 is because it's a completely new sequence, if you will, a new topic, if you will, of inputting the password. And this input password then results in a response, which is 2.1, and then 2.2, the password's verified. So the verify password is a response back to the user inputting their password, and then the bank is originating a message to say to tell the keypad that the password's been verified. The 2.3 is the keypad tells the display to show the main menu. Now there's a completely new response that occurs from the ATM user to select to withdraw cash. The user does that. Then apparently there's no information back. It's as if they need to do two things. They need to select to withdraw cash and then select the amount. So this is how this system works as it's been described. Now it looks as though there's a message that goes to something where we send an SMS message to something, and this is something that is happening off of the screen. In other words, it's happening outside of the scope of this piece of work. There is this event happening that we don't particularly care right now where this takes us. We just need to know that in fact it happens. We're not too concerned that where this message is going to go to. So that's why you can have an event leave this sequence and have it not end anywhere. That's completely fine, because inside of our window here is the complete scope of the sequence that we were facilitating, that we were talking someone through. On the flip side, the second page of this diagram is our network diagram. And I provided in class a deconstructed network diagram with all of these elements. And this is really all I'm looking for us to provide right now. I don't have the IP addresses of the servers in the store, let's say. I am aware that there's a firewall. I am aware that we're using the internet and some cloud-based services to communicate to the supplier and to the bank, to our customer's phone, and to the customer's home. And in the store, there's Wi-Fi. And I've got an employee who happens to have a checkout anywhere application on their smartphone, so they can roam the store and have someone check out right from the smartphone of the employee. Okay, that is really all I'm looking for a network diagram. This much, or perhaps even a bit less, if you don't even have the details that there is Wi-Fi, for example, in your system, or you're not sure, don't include it. But really, I'm not looking for too much more detail than this. This is plenty of information to start a conversation and to begin having an understanding of this is what the business has told you what they want, and you've documented it to the best of your ability. Now we need to have detailed conversations with network engineers and people within IT to understand how this is really all going to work. But this is provided enough information so that we can have a good conversation. So the idea here is that we initiate conversations by talking to the business, and then we share this information with IT developers and network engineers and architects, so that we can ask more detailed questions perhaps from the business and continue on this conversation until things are documented just good enough to support development, so that we can get things done in a very rapid, agile method of clear communication, lots of conversation, and documentation that provides value and captures conversations. That's what we're trying to do. Thank you so much. This homework is to just be attached to your ever-developing personal requirements package. You just embed your diagrams in the spaces provided for network and the space provided for sequence or timing. This is where sequence diagrams will go, and that should take care of you. You should be good for this week. So thank you very much, and we'll talk more next week.